Welcome to this tutorial on how to customize your Clustertruck truck colors. This video is going to be divided into several parts: installing and setting up the necessary tools, basic colors, advanced colors, and then at the end, color loops. Let's get started. First, we're going to install dnSpy. dnSpy is a tool that, among other things, allows you to edit the game's code. We're going to be using it to add a couple lines of code to make the trucks any color we want. First, go to the GitHub page linked in the description and download the latest release of dnSpy. Open dnSpy and click File and then Open. Navigate to your Clustertruck folder. This is usually located under your Steam install folder, Steam Apps, Common, and then Clustertruck. After that, open clustertruck_data, manage, and then double-click assembly C#.dll to open it. From here, we're going to expand this assembly and navigate to the Landfall Twitch class. Landfall uses this class to crash Twitch streams while they're playing the game and create all kinds of weird effects with the trucks. We're going to use this class to change the colors of our trucks. For basic colors, we're going to go to the Start function, right-click anywhere on the code window, and click Edit Method C#. Don't get overwhelmed by the code, we don't need any of it except for one line, this one to be exact. This one line dictates what color the trucks are in the game, and changing it is very simple, as you can just replace white by any supported color named by the game's engine, Unity. Here are some examples, but in the video description you'll find a link to my GitHub where I have added a list of simple colors you can use. Once you've typed in this color, make sure the semicolon is still at the end of the line, and click Compile in the bottom right. After this, go to File, Save All, OK, and that's it. You now have your very own colored trucks. For advanced colors, we're going to be using the HSV format, since this allows us more control of the truck's look. Of course, if you want to use RGBA, you can do so like this, with the values in order, and making sure to add a new in front. However, in this tutorial, we're going to use HSV. The first number we're going to be looking at, the H in HSV, is for hue, that being the color on the color spectrum that you want. Hue and the other two variables we're going to be looking at require a number from 0 to 1. Hue is normally measured in degrees, going from 0 to 360, which means to get the desired hue we need to divide it by 360. For example, to get green, which has a hue value of 120 degrees, we need to divide it by 360 to get 0.3 repeating. On my GitHub page I've made a table with hues and their corresponding values to help you get started. By the way, when filling in this number, don't forget to add an F to the back of it, so that the game understands that we are talking about a fractional number. The next number we're looking at is the S, which stands for saturation. As the name suggests, this value from 0 to 1 controls the saturation of the color. Saturation is over 0.5, resulting in colored shadows being cast by the trucks. The last number is V, which stands for value. Value dictates the brightness of your color. This also means that no matter the hue or saturation, having a value of 0 will always result in black trucks. Be careful with making your value too low though, as this can make trucks difficult to see in darker worlds. Having low saturation and value will result in a more pastel-like color, while having high saturation and value will give a more neon-like appearance. On the GitHub page you can find a table of the saturation in relation to the value and decide which one you like for your color. Once again, to save, press Compile in the bottom right, go to File, Save All, and then OK. Now that we know what these values do, we can write some code to change them over time. However, for this we'll need to change the function we're working in. Go to the Assembly Explorer and select the Update function. This function is ran every new frame instead of only at the start of the game, meaning we can do some fun stuff with it. Once again, right-click and select Edit Method C#. In this first example, we're changing the hue value over time to make the trucks change color over time. Rainbow trucks. In the second example, we're changing the saturation over time with the sine wave, resulting in color pulsing trucks. In both of these examples, we can make the cycle twice as slow by dividing time.time by 2, or make it 3 times as fast by multiplying by 3, etc. The reason for the extra math here is to make the sine wave go from 0 to 1 instead of -1 to 1. Now for our last example, we're going to make a custom gradient of colors that we're going to cycle through. For this, we're going to have to do a bit more work though. First, we'll make a list of colors. These can be any basic color, but also the advanced ones. Make sure all of these colors are separated by a comma at the end, except for the last entry. Now I could go on to explain the rest of this example's code, but I think it's better if you just hop on over to the GitHub page and copy it from there, as knowing how it works is not necessary to make your own gradient. Of course, we can also scale this one by either dividing or multiplying time.time. And now for the final time. To save, press compile in the bottom right, go to file, save all, and then OK. All of these examples and some more are of course on the GitHub page for your copy pasting pleasure. I hope you enjoy your new color trucks. See ya.